The biggest news of the day is he's J.J. Watt. He is back home. He will be playing very soon. He's J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt has been designated to return from injured reserve. He healed quicker than any other human in history. And although it wasn't laid out like how Russell Wilson worked like a Wolverine 19 hours a day, J.J. Watt worked in quiet. J.J. Watt wanted to work on his body, on his shoulders, say, hey, listen, I'm going to get back in time for a run. I need you guys to hold it down. The Cardinals hit quite a slump for a while there. J.J. was trying to do all the motivational speaking he could do on the sideline and in the building, but now they get a chance to feel the 9-9 back on the field. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, at Tone Diggs. Let's start with you, Connor. J.J. Watt's all the way back, healed faster than anybody. Yeah. The Cardinals may be primed to make a run after getting a win over the Cowboys in Dallas, making Kyler Murray go 8-0 in his life in that stadium. Are they back on track with J.J. fucking Watt all the way back?
I mean, it depends every single week, right? If Kyler Murray shows up to the stadium and he says to himself, you know what, I do feel like playing football today, then absolutely they're all the way back. But I could have never seen J.J. Watt coming back this quick.
What's that all
I
about?
mean, we know Kyler Murray is a great quarterback, but he's also a live betting quarterback. You got to see how he's feeling, how his body emotion is, what he's thinking. Like, I'm not really feeling it. No DeAndre Hopkins. Or he's like, I got freaking A.J. Green and Zach Ertz. I'm going to sling the pill today.
Oh, is that right? It is seem like last year's Arizona Cardinals team. I'm not just blaming solely on Kyler.
No.
Last year's Arizona Cardinals started to creep in on this year's Arizona Cardinals. Because at the beginning of the year, Arizona Cardinals, number one seed, no problem, here we go. We're getting past what we did last year, which was inconsistent football. We'd show up, then we wouldn't show up, then we'd show up, then we wouldn't show up. Then we'd have some runs, like 6 quarters straight, where we are the best team in football, and then boom, they'd lose to some of them. That was last year. They were a young team. They were growing. They were learning. This year, it seemed like that was all behind them.
Yeah.
They brought in J.J. Watt fresh off the fucking lake. Let's fly his ass in here. Let's pay him a bunch of money. Let's go ahead and let Chandler Jones be mad for a little bit about his contract, come back, and then just absolutely dominate. Buda Baker's flying around. Isaiah Simmons has found a role in the NFL defense that we all thought he could potentially have. Didn't have much of it last year. On the offensive side of the ball, Kyler was scrambling and throwing Hail Marys like every third play, and DeAndre Hopkins was catching him. They were calculated. They were unbelievable. James Conner was running better than he ever run. He looked like he was back at the University of Pittsburgh whenever he was just absolutely slaughtering everybody. That team was up, and there was a Williams tight end we didn't know about. I was like, this guy's making plays. I know where they bring Zach Ertz in out of that team. Andy Lee, Prater. I mean, they got a good squad over there. They were everything we thought they could potentially be whenever they were great last year. Like, oh, this is what this team could be. The team last year cost me a lot of money.
A lot.
Those glimpses of greatness carried me on Sunday mornings when I would be placing bets. And I was like, Kyler, if Kyler gets out here, he's going to do his thing. And then they would lose to the Panthers. Then they would lose to like the Giants or the Jets, who we just talked about have not had. They would lose a game, and it's like, what the fuck? You guys are costing me to. They would lose to the Dolphins. Oh, they would just lose. Lions. They would lose. Tie. I think they tied. Yeah. They tied Lions. There was like just so much they did last year. It was like, oh my God. This year it looked like they had it all together. Then Hop gets hurt. J.J. Watt's out. They fall into a slump, and it's like, oh shit, is this the team we thought they were last year? And now, after beating Dallas, getting J.J. Watt back, going into the playoffs, Kyler Murray's a primetime player. He's on FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan. That's a video gaming team.
Oh, yeah.
You would know nothing about it because you have no idea. You would never be able to make it to FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan. He's part of that team with Brawny. I mean, you got to be a very good gamer to get into that fucking FaZe Clan. He's going to make primetime plays. Every single game's on primetime TV. Kyler Murray was built for the playoffs. And I think he knows that. I think we all know that. And he's going to get going. Ain't that right, Ty?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we need to see a little bit more out of them. They
too much Game Boy play.
Well, maybe. Right. I mean, yeah, exactly, in a way. But they kind of melted at the end of that Cowboys game, too. Like, Cowboys almost came back. Like, I mean, they looked good for most of the game, but I don't know if that alone makes me feel like they're, one of the top contenders in the NFC.
We got a guy named Shubham in the comment section said that everything we just did about FaZe Clan was cringe.
What do you mean?
Was that
Shebang?
Shuby from
Well,
fucking
Shabam's got no
Circle?
idea about the goddamn things, Clay.
Is cringe good, like a video game term?
Nah, well, I think cringe is like, oh, it's so awesome. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it is, actually.
Yep.
Yeah. You
Cringe.
cringe up how cool it is.
Cringe up.
Yeah, cringe. Cringe.
Fun fact:
Cringe.
this is the second time that J.J. Watt has come back from a quote unquote season-ending injury.
Well, and when you think about J.J. Watt, you think, oh, that guy's Captain America.
Yeah.
When he was drafted to the Houston Texans, they booed him out of Texas. That's
right.
Everything's bigger in Texas, including those boos for J.J. Watt when he got drafted down there. And I played for the Indianapolis Colts, and I was already in the league when J.J. Watt came into the league. Yeah, I'm ordering him. Am I?
Looking,
Thought it was 2010.
So that's 1 year after me.
Yeah.
he's 32 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he came into my division.
2011.
Okay. J.J. Watt, I was already in the AFC
That's
South.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd already been a champion. He came into my division.
Mm-hmm.
What a joke, by the way. I should never even act like that, but that is
It's true.
That is something that did happen. I was already there. He came in. Watching what he did in Houston, in the growth and development of, oh, this is fucking J.J. Watt. He became a megastar there. The first time I made the Pro Bowl was probably like his 10th at that time. I get there and my locker's right next to him. And I got a chance to really actually watch him 2 times a year grow. And every time we went to Houston, it was always big time game because it was normally for the division. And you look at it, the AFC South, by the way, the bottom 2 teams, worst bottom 2 teams in any division in football this year.
Yeah, by far.
2 wins, 4 wins. I mean, they stink down there.
Yeah.
Heading into a playoff run, let's talk about a team heading into a playoff run who gets a player back, though. Let's move on from Antonio Brown, Ava Luis.
Okay.
J.J. Watt is back. Nobody thought he could heal. He is back for the playoffs. The Arizona Cardinals have designated J.J. Watt to return from injured reserve, says Ian Rappaport at Rap Sheet. The man who was going to restart, rebuild, and reprove himself in Arizona and started off doing so, got injured and said, I'm going to come back, even though the doctors and all the skeptics said there's no way, J.J., at your age, you'll never be able to make it back. Well, guess what? J.J. Watt's back, and that team needs him right now, A.J.
This could be like the old shot in the arm, as coaches like to say. Don't you think that this team can need?
Is he vaccinated? Is that what you're saying?
Better
What?
be.
Did you say he's vaccinated?
I have no idea about him being vaccinated or immunized. I have no clue on that situation. But I'm saying, like, this could give them the boost, no pun intended, that this team may need.
Oh, so he is boosted. He's
Yeah,
vaccinated.
vaccinated.
He's
Sounds like it.
boosted.
Whoa.
Has he gotten COVID yet, or whatever? He's got the shot in the arm.
Super immune.
He's got, you're right, though. The little pick me up or the little giddy up that could be in there, or shot in the arm, exactly how it is titled, but. You know, with how prevalent everything else is with shots in the arm, had to bring it up there. J.J. Watt, when he was there, was playing much better, I think, than anybody thought he was going to play, right? At this age, other than the owner. The owner and the GM, they paid him the amount of money to bring him in there. There was a lot of skeptics on JJ's best days are behind him. JJ heard all that. JJ ate all that. Then he squatted. Then he ate all that. Then he sat in a lake with his brother. Then he ate all that. Then he lifted. Then he went to Arizona on the owner's plane. And I think he was playing very well. Alongside a defense that was very, very devastating. Chandler Jones, Buddha, Isaiah Simmons, you name it, across the board on that defense, they got studs. And on offense, they were good. And on special teams, they were good. They just beat the Cowboys, although it got close at the end in Ty's eyes, which I think is a very fair assessment. This is big for them. Any type of this type of energy, renewed energy coming into a game or into a locker room is always good.
Yeah, and especially for a team that has, now they've gotten back on track, but they had a little 3-game skid where people were not feeling too confident about the Cardinals.
Yeah, I lost my confidence in them because I lost a lot of my FanDuel account on them.
Well, don't they feel...
That team has cost me more money than the other team. More money than the other. I'm their biggest supporter, I feel like. I am potentially one of the
Going back to last year, right? Didn't this happen last year all the time?
They lost me, $50,000 on that one parlay or whatever. I mean, that money was...
Was that a coin toss or was that like something else?
Big
Parlay, I said. Okay.
I thought it was part of a parlay, maybe.
You're an asshole.
Well, the coin toss was the
Thank
Super
you.
Bowl, where $30,000 disappeared from my account because the ref had the most rigged coin toss I've ever seen in my entire life.